7 Habits of Highly Successful People is a book I recently read. This book is extremely popular, but I've avoided it for a long time because of the title. Now that I've finished reading it, I'm struck by how real the ideas are, as well as how few of the behaviors I actually follow, despite believing they're common sense. It's useful to me because it synthesizes small bits of wisdom into short mantras like be proactive and gives you specific actions to take to follow each habit. The author, Stephen R. Covey, suggests in the introduction that you read the book with the aim of teaching it to others rather than learning it yourself, so this video is my attempt to share what I've learned. What does it mean to be effective? The P/PC combination is how Covey determines effectiveness. Production output is denoted by the letter P. And PC denotes the capacity to produce. To be competitive, you must balance these two factors and spend time both producing and ensuring that your means of production are well maintained. First and foremost, be proactive. In this sense, being proactive entails accepting responsibility for your own actions. Proactivity entails distinguishing between what you can affect and what you are worried with. Being responsible means accepting responsibility for the things you have power over, working on your method of leverage on things you just have indirect control over, and not focusing on things you don't have control over. Proactive measures include: consider how you express yourself when you're trying to figure out why something happened. Instead of saying, "I am like that," claim, "I chose not to be like that." Make a list of 5 items that are bothering you right now. If you can manipulate them, label them circle of influence, and if you can't, label them circle of concern. What do you do the majority of your time? Make a few tiny promises to yourself and stick to them. Then gradually increase their size. The second habit is, to begin with, the end in mind. Starting with the end in mind is a philosophy that extends to every aspect of your life and every action you take. When you create something, you first create it in your head, and then you create it in the real world. If you don't think about where you're going and why you're going first, the process of formation would be dictated by your previous behaviors. In order to apply this to your life, you should decide which principles are most important to you. If your ideals are based on something external, such as friendship or romance, they are insecure and can cause pain if circumstances alter. Your loyalty to the plan will be sustained in the face of challenges if you base your life on values like trust and honesty. The methods for getting started with the end in mind are the following. Build a personal mission statement, as Covey suggests. Try outlining the kind of person you want to be, the contribution you want to make, and the ideals or beliefs that will guide you. Before you begin something, try to imagine what the world would be like after you've completed it. Consider how pleased everyone would be that you prepared the meal. Then take things a step further. The third habit is to put the most important things first. Prioritize the planning and execution. This habit entails ensuring that you focus on the relevant tasks rather than the urgent ones. Covey advises categorizing all of the responsibilities into quadrants and comparing their significance and urgency. Often prioritize the most important or urgent tasks. After that, you try to maximize the important or non-urgent while minimizing the unimportant and urgent. Ways to start with the basics is to see what happens if you literally put anything on a quadrant. Are you wasting too much time on unimportant and urgent tasks? Make time in your schedule to focus on the items that are important but not urgent. Make it a habit to say no. Make a weekly schedule. The fourth habit is to consider the win-win situation. This habit entails looking at things from a win-win perspective. Keep in mind that in most cases, there is a way for everybody to get what they want. The ways to think in a win-win situation are as follows. Consider a hypothetical scenario and consider how you might think win-win. Consider the people you meet. Who has a win-win strategy and who has a lose-lose strategy? The fifth habit is to first seek to understand, then to be understood. This is a habit that requires you to diagnose before prescribing. To begin, make an effort to fully comprehend. Personal integrity, emotional resonance, and justification are the 3 elements that are needed for deep understanding. This is true in both cases. The ways to start by trying to figure out what you don't know are as follows. Consider who people are and why they believe what they believe while you're listening to them. Inquire on how they arrived at their conclusions. If anyone disagrees with you, try expressing their point of view in a manner that they believe accurately reflects their viewpoint. Synergize is the 6th habit. This habit entails looking for ways to communicate and connect in which the whole is greater than the sum of its pieces. You can do this by appreciating differences of opinion, or as Covey puts it, valuing the differences. Synergize in the following ways: find someone from a different profession and ask them a question about a decision you're facing. Consider how to exploit teamwork in meetings where there are normally collisions. Sharpen the saw is habit number 7. Sharpening the saw entails setting aside time on a regular basis to ensure that you are constantly progressing rather than merely making. Sharpening the saw can be done in a variety of ways. Start a daily workout routine, no matter how small it is. Take the time to incorporate the 7 behaviors into your daily routine. In conclusion, you must be thoughtful with your own reactions to things, maintain your commitments, and concentrate on your circle of influence if you want to live an effective life with a good P/PC balance. Before you begin, you must visualize the end result. You should consider which ideals you want your life to embody and strive to live by them. Consider things in terms of priority and urgency, and prioritize the essential and critical items first, before focusing as much as possible on the non-urgent and important items. You should strive to find solutions to problems in which all parties profit. Before you prescribe, make a diagnosis. Different points of view are valued, and you can strive to find ways to collaborate with others who think differently. Finally, make sure you set aside the time necessary to manage all 7 behaviors. Thanks for watching the video. Please like and comment if you've enjoyed the video. Also, consider subscribing to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notified when I upload the next video.